What's going on, everybody? Tonight we're going to be making a brush tail just like this guy right here. Now, if you've been watching my last couple videos, we've been building what will be around 7 inches, a 7-inch glide bait. The last couple of videos I've posted are showing all the steps I've taken to get to this point. Now this one's number 2 for the 7-inch bait, and so tonight I wanted to make a brush tail for it. And then I wanted to make the brush tail video its own title. That way anybody that's trying to figure out how to make one can find it easily. So tonight's video is gonna be rather short, and tomorrow's video is going to be painting a topwater bait. So hopefully early next week, I'll get the rest of this glide bait build video, all the paint testing, all that done. But I just want to show you guys real quick how I make the tails. First thing you're going to obviously need is a paintbrush. Now, I had gotten this one a long time ago and just been cutting pieces off of it slowly. I did want to try to source some cheaper ones for you guys, and I found this on Amazon for, I think it was $7, maybe $8. Either way, it was under $10. So definitely make sure you're buying paintbrushes like that and not some expensive nice ones at the hardware store. But there are 2 different ways that I go about making these guys. Both involve cutting a handful of the bristles off of the paintbrush, and I just use a pair of scissors. And this was a long time ago. I made like this little jig that I can put all the bristles in. And then my thought process was, if I could get all the bristles laid out exactly how I wanted, and then have them overhang on the edge right here, then what I could do is put this in place, put a little clamp on it, and then I could glue the edge. So that worked really well, but the thing is, on these bigger baits that I'm making, I want it to be wider further inside the bait, so I want it to fan out a lot quicker. So this little jig in particular just isn't fitting my new baits that I'm making. So at some point I'm gonna make another one similar to this, just because it is nice that they'd be the same, that they would be the same every time I made one. So what I'm doing now, or temporarily, is I'm just using some parchment paper, laying some of this out on the table, and then I'm just taking my paintbrush bristles and then laying them out on here about how I want them. Now for my baits in particular, I can go pretty thin with them. I don't need a really, really thick brush tail. So pretty thin works. And I just use something like the board to get them all lined up, or the tips of them as close together. So I get it about how wide I want it. And then I did want to point this out, because I think this is really important, or it'll help out a lot of people. If you can buy some glue that has an activator that comes with it. So I was using this, and it has a spray activator that cures it really quickly. Problem is, this all like dried up inside there, even with the cap on it. Like, it's still liquidy, but it's like crazy thick. So it isn't really working for how I do it. But definitely finding some glue that has an activator for making the brush tails makes this process a lot quicker. Some of the other glues you gotta kind of like wait overnight, and that can be a bit annoying if you're trying to make a bunch of these. What I did find out though is my regular Loctite super glue, the activator cures it. I don't know if it cures it as strong as it would if I just let the glue dry on its own, but either way, I'm still using a 2-part epoxy to attach the brush tail to the bait, so I'm not too worried about the tail coming apart. But what I do here is, we got our tail kind of fanned out how we want it to look, and then I'll take something that can kind of hold the bristles in place for me there, and then I just take and drip this glue. It is thin glue. I don't think the gel glue would work as good, but I drip it all along the edge. And then depending on how much glue came out where, sometimes I'll take a little scrap piece of something and kind of smooth it out a little bit. And then I take our accelerator, add a little bit more glue. So I really just want the glue to stay down here at the end where that'll be hidden inside the bait. I don't want that glue to run down the side of the tail too much because it looks kind of gross on the tail. So I just kind of let that sit for a second, make sure it's hardened, and then I'll go ahead and flip it over and add a little bit more glue and accelerator to the other side as well. That makes this so nice and so fast. There's a couple loose stragglers in there. Sometimes I get ones that come off, shoot off the side like that. I just go ahead and cut those right off there. Next up is the fun part. I'm going to throw a piece of wood down here so I don't mess up my little painting table. So two things. One, I like to have the bait on hand whenever I'm making them specifically for a certain size bait. I always like to do a little test fit to see, you know, how big I'm wanting this tail to be. And then, of course, the shaping. But that's kind of what I was talking about right there, where if you let too much of the glue run down the side, it kind of, you know, looks a little bit gross there. But I think I should be able to clean that up enough. So I get the bait, I do a test fit, and then what I'll do here is I take a nice sharp X-Acto knife, or nice sharp razor blade, and I'll put it right on the end there, and then I'll whack it. And now we got a nice clean straight line, so it should fit inside the bait pretty good, like something like that. And then what I'm gonna do is right up here where it meets the bait, I want it to not be hanging out or have that overhang on both sides. So depending on how it is, how much glue's in there, I just kind of break it off. Oh, so this one broke a little higher up than I wanted. It's okay. I know a way we can fix that. Okay, back to shaping it here. Trust me, guys, I know what I'm doing. Which I actually think I'll be able to cut off the ugly part I was showing you guys. And another thing you can do is take a Dremel tool. And kind of shape that bottom part in there. There we go. Now there's no, I have it a little crooked there, but I think you guys get the idea. There's no big overhang on both sides. So for this bait in particular, I don't want a really, really long tail on it. I want it to be relatively short. So what I like to do is have it in the bait like this, how it's going to be sitting. I'm trying to make sure it's straight or be sitting how I'll have it glued in there. And I'm going to take our blade and just kind of trim off the edges here. Nice straight line. And then I always like, whenever we do these little notches or the V cutout, I don't like using scissors. It seems like you usually end up with a really tattered, torn, edged tail, and that don't look as good. I like it when they're nice, clean, sharp lines. So I'm going to take our blade, try to pick out the angle here. I think I need to get a sharper blade. Okay, hold on 1 second. All right, I got a brand new blade here, so maybe now I won't make a fool of myself. Yes, there we go. See, I do know what I'm talking about. I'm going to take the bottom, knock it off as well. and then the top of this comes up and then kind of shoots up straight. What I'm going to do is go ahead and cut that at an angle. And then I will take a pair of scissors if I got a couple stragglers and go ahead and cut those. Now maybe some sharper scissors, I might be able to make the whole cut, but the ones I've tried in the past, my scissors just end up pinching it and not actually cutting, so then it's just bending all the bristles around. So for me, doing it this way seems to be working pretty good for me. And then I take a nice long look at the bait and I think about it, and I think the tail is a little bit too long. So what I'm going to try to do here is shorten it just a little bit. We'll see how this goes. I think I'm going to shorten it a little bit more. Not at the front. I think I'm just going to cut this back. I'll take our V in a little bit deeper. And then with the V a little deeper, I'm going to knock off the bottom a hair. I think I'm actually pretty happy with that. I might, let's see. No, I think I'm happy with that. I overthink it, just like I do everything else, or when I'm spraying the black on the baits, I always go too far. I think that's pretty good. I think when I glue it in place, I might kind of trim that just a little bit more there. But there is how I've been making my brush tails. I do think making a jig would be good to replicate them, but here's another big one I'd made for the big old 10-inch glide bait there. So hopefully that hopefully that helps you guys, at least get you pointed in the right direction. As I said, I think the #1 tip would be getting glue that has some form of activator to make it cure a little bit faster. But otherwise, a little bit of parchment paper and some super glue and an old paintbrush. Pretty simple process. So hopefully this video helped you guys out. Tomorrow's video is going to be painting a topwater blank. And so early next week, we should have the paint job done on this bait, and then hopefully a fishing video, or at least a testing video. So that way you guys can see how this bait swims in the water. So I will see you guys in tomorrow night's video.